Hi everyone, welcome to my first part of my second trimester update. You're gonna have to excuse the lighting. It gets to 7 o'clock and it literally just goes like that. I'm filming it at like night time today just because I've been out all day and then I had my nephew to pick up after school, so I couldn't update then, and I've been busy doing bedtime. So second trimester. For some reason I thought second trimester started at 16 weeks, but apparently it starts at 14. So this past week has been horrific. As I'm talking, I'm starting to get acid reflux. I can feel it, and that's fine. To be fair, my acid reflux this past week has really settled down, but I don't know if you can hear it in my voice. I've got a really awful cough. I put on my Instagram stories earlier this week that I was really struggling with a cough, because obviously you can't really take much. Don't get me wrong, when you have a cough anyway, you can't really take much. Nothing really helps, whether you're pregnant or not. But it's just been a never-ending cycle of having a cough, drinking a lot to help my throat. Luckily I don't have a sore throat, I just have a really horrific dry throat and a really horrible cough. So I've been drinking a lot, which means my bladder's getting full. I'm either constantly going to the toilet or constantly wetting myself because my pelvic floor is fucked. I didn't know it was a thing. No one ever in my midwife appointments when I had P ever told me about pelvic floor. It was 4 days before my due date. I went and had physio on my back, and the physiotherapist was like, have you been doing your pelvic floor? And I was like, sorry, what? What's pelvic floor? She was like, all your muscles? And I was like, didn't know it was a thing. So my pelvic floor is ruined. So that's one thing that I'm really like conscious of, is that I'm scared that it's going to get worse. And it's got to the point where I'm wearing massive pads because every time I cough, which is all the time, I'm wetting myself. I'm having to have 2 or 3 showers a day because hygiene. So that's not pleasant. And then because I'm coughing, I'm not sleeping. I see the clock every hour. It's just been a really shit week and I've had enough. So I put on Instagram, and thank God I did. This is why I love my community, like my little tribe of followers, because everyone just is nice and tries to help. And so I had some really good feedback. So if you are pregnant, have I got it here? Yeah, bear with. You can take this stuff. I think it's at your own discretion, but most people have said that I can take this. Obviously I'm not like drinking it by the bottle, and if I'm being perfectly honest, this doesn't really do anything. So I've got some Poundland. It's Simple Linctus. So I have had that. Oh, it's not going to focus. Come on. You see that? Yeah. So you can have that, which is P, so I just re-brought the bottle. What else can you have? Vapor Rub. I don't know why people told me to use this. This is the one that I've got. I got this from like B&M. I put this on the soles of my feet with socks. Roo, go away. Here, smell that. Yeah, you won't like that. I put this on the soles of my feet, like people said with socks, and then rubbed it on my chest. Literally did nothing apart from moisturise my feet, which isn't a bad thing. I did a bowl of hot water with menthol crystals. You can get those over the counter at Boots. They're like £2.50. That's probably the thing that helped the most. And then lemon and honey. Loads of you recommended me that. I've never really done it before, and it helps temporarily. I have that about 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, and my coughing mellows out until bed. And then literally I brought this the other day because I had enough of constantly walking into the kitchen to take teaspoons of honey. A lot of you said that if you take this, it coats your throat. So I slept from 1:30 till 5:30, which is the most sleep I've had in one sitting. And I literally just squirted this into my mouth, which is rank, but I got that from Poundland. So they are what I've been taking for my cough. I am on day, I think, am I on day 7 now? I literally got it after my scan, so yeah. And it's been horrible. Because of that, my asthma's been playing up. Obviously everything is going up because my bump is growing. So I remember lack of breath and shortness of breath I really suffered with pee. So that's been happening whilst having a cough, and it's just not fun. Tiredness though, I've been okay. I have had a nap when P was at school on Monday because I was able to, and why not take the time when I've got it? I only have an hour and it gets me through, and I do it on a Friday as well because I work Friday evenings for 4 hours from like 6 till 10, so I need that. I need that extra fuel for me on Friday nights. I was also sick today, which was the first time I was sick. I think the problem that I've got, I've been googling it obviously, it's called, is it called like a nasal drip or something? I don't have a cold at all, I'm absolutely fine, but I can feel snot that I'm not able to get out of my nose by blowing it. It's going down the back of my throat, which is then causing me to cough, I think. Whenever I cough, I bring up a lot of phlegm because obviously it's coming out through force. And I coughed so much, I went to the bathroom to obviously get rid of what I'd brought up, and then I literally just vomited in the sink. Sorry, TMI. It's the first time I've vomited, and I almost cried and had an absolute episode because I don't deal with it very well. But actually, got it out my system and just cracked on with my day, and I was absolutely fine. So hopefully it'll be the first and the last. Only time will tell. I have been suffering quite bad headaches. Again, I think it's just the coughing, it's the pressure. For some reason it's gone into my head, literally just a strip. And the thing that I have found and loved is a dupe of the forehead stick. Forehead is like £5. This was £1.50 I think from, I was gonna say Wilko, it wasn't, it was from Savers. And it's called Head Soothe. So that's what it looks like, and it's basically, I think it's just like Vicks, but it smells different, and you literally just rub the balm across your forehead. So I really recommend that as well if you're pregnant. And it basically feels like you've got Vicks on your head because your head goes cold. And I just swear by this, I take this everywhere because I can't stand having a headache and not being able to take, I know I can take paracetamol, but I'd just rather not. I'd rather save the paracetamol for if I'm like ill and aches and pains and stuff. Yeah, so I'm 15 weeks. Other than that, I don't think I have anything else to really update you on. I can't believe I'm 15 weeks. I can't believe I'm in my second trimester. Like I said at the end of my last, first trimester, I feel robbed of like 2.5 weeks because everything's just jumped forward, which is fun and it's exciting. P has really embraced the whole like sister role this past week, which is so lovely. Like today I met my friend's baby, she just had her second, and P is just, I want to say so hands-on. She's not one of those kids that's annoying and just gets in the way and is persistent, she's not, but she's just inquisitive and is so interested in babies. And like she was like, when the baby was crying, she's like, oh no, baby crying. She's like, can I put the dummy in? And then she obviously put the dummy in, was really gentle, and it's just really nice to see. Obviously she's had that, 3 of my friends have had second children, so it's nice to see that we're almost a year on from when my first had her second. It's nice to see that still a year on she's still interested. And then she held my hand today and we're walking down the road, and she was like talking about how when my baby brother or sister comes here, I can push her because I'm going to be a really big good sister, aren't I? And I'm like, yes you will be. Like she's just so excited, and she comes out with things like, when the baby starts to have like dinner, I'll be able to help. And when the baby needs a wee, I can help on the toilet, can't I? And it's like, oh, you have no idea, because as soon as the baby's here, you're going to hate it and you're going to want it to go back inside my stomach. But for the meantime, yes, it'll be an idyllic life. So it's really sweet that she's really hands-on and really excited, and just the things she comes out with is just lovely. Yeah, so she's really excited, which I'm happy about. I think that's all I need to update you on this week. it's nice to be back in routine of like school and things like that now. It's really nice to get back on my 2 feet. Having the 6-week holiday really threw me off. So just to think that the next summer holidays there'll be a baby is just crazy. Do I have anything else to say? Things that I have gone off and things that I'm eating. I've still really gone off tea and chocolate. I just don't eat chocolate, which is so strange. I'd rather have celery with salt. It makes me salivate just thinking about it. And Marmite, that's just my thing. I've always loved it, and so many people think that's weird. Don't knock it till you try it, it's incredible. Yeah, so that, just like I chop up all my tomatoes on a chopping board and then just sprinkle salt over them. That. What else have I been eating? To be fair, I haven't been eating that much. I remember when I had P, like, I ate a lot, and this time I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it's I've just got like a fragile stomach and stuff, because obviously I've been feeling sick. I just haven't really been like overeating. I haven't been really hungry. Like sometimes just get in the mood for something. Hope you enjoyed today's update. Sorry about the lighting. I won't film any in the evening again. I'm going to go and enjoy my bath. Take a Rennie, and I will see you all next week. Hi everyone, so I am back with another update. Today is the 25th of September and I will be doing my 16-week like wrap up, I think. I can't remember what I last filmed. I wouldn't normally, I don't feel like I need to update every week now, just because I've been through like the hard part, I guess, or like the early stages. And I wouldn't have said that I needed to film this week, but I have had my 16-week midwife appointment that I want to sit down and talk about, because it's sort of quite an important one. It's not, but stuff happened. Obviously it happened because it's me. But yeah, everything is, for me, is fine. I'm feeling fine. I am starting to get backache like I had when I had P. I'm getting it a lot earlier on. I'm getting like a trapped nerve in my left lower back / top part of my bum. I remember getting it vividly with P, and I suffered with it for a couple of years afterwards as well. And obviously having the additional weight of a bump, it's straining. It's not enjoyable. I don't get it all the time, but it's like, say I'm lying down in a position on the bed, or I'm sat doing a puzzle on the floor. If I manage to lie in that particular position, I can't remember what it is, but I will just feel this section. It feels like a knot, like a lump, like a, you know, like when you get a knot in your back or in your shoulder or whatever. It feels like a knot and it's spasming, and I physically cannot move, and I just say to me, like, I'm stuck, like I can't move. If I try and like get myself out of it or move my leg, I physically can't move, and I'm stuck for a couple of minutes until I'm able to ease the pain out. It's really, really horrible. I have got back pain. I had back pain prior to being pregnant. Obviously it's emphasised when I am pregnant. It's all over. It's not just my lower back, although that is where it's now starting. I have it where my bra strap is. I just have it on the tops of my shoulders. I have it everywhere. But other than that, symptoms are absolutely fine. Sickness is finally started to go. I had my cough. I think that might have been when I last updated you. My cough is gone. Yeah, I'm feeling fine. I'm happy. I feel more myself than I ever have done. I feel like I really struggled looking back. It was just a really weird time, and now like I've started reading a book. I have done a puzzle in 2 days. Like, I'm getting back to myself and like my interests and stuff, which is really nice. Still tired. When am I not? I have a 3.5-year-old. I'm always tired. But other than that, I'm fine. So I had my 16-week midwife appointment today, and I just wanted to sit and chat about it really. So technically today I'm 15 plus 6. I'm 16 weeks tomorrow. And I went in under the impression that I was going to listen to the baby's heartbeat with the Doppler. They did it previously at my 16-week with P, and they still do it over the UK in some places they don't. Oh, my hair is driving me insane, and so is this outfit. I feel like you can see how big my boobs are, like looking in the camera. Look at that. Like, I look ridiculous. I'm so aware of them, especially being pregnant. It's just, oh, I hate them. So went in today to see the midwife. It was a different midwife. I was told that the one that I had was the one that did my GP practice. Obviously, I don't know if she's on holiday or if she's sick, but I didn't get that one, which I was quite disappointed about, because it's nice to have the familiar face and them to know you and things like that. But it's what it is. I'm getting free healthcare. I can't complain about that. So I went and said hello, blah blah blah, gave her my pot of wee, which she threw in the bin. Obviously she did the test, but then she threw it in the bin, and normally previously they give the wee sample pot back because they're so hard to get hold of. So I was annoyed that she threw my pot in the bin, but it's what it is. And then what did she do? She went over my bloods that they took. Everything was fine. I've got my notes here, so I may as well just get them out so I can quickly go over, because I do want to be descriptive, because some of my videos that have gone up since, whilst I'm filming this, they're helping people, which blows my mind that I actually help people. But hey ho, apparently I'm a midwife now as well. So they went over my results. So I'm A positive blood group, and then she went over my blood count, which is apparently 131. Apparently that's good. I'm low risk for sickle cell and FOQ. For syphilis, hepatitis B and HIV not detected. And she went over my Downs letter that I think I showed, that it's like 1 in a 30-odd thousand chance of like Downs and Edwards or whatever that is. It was very, like, it wasn't very personal, I found, and it really threw me off. I sat down and spoke to her about how I'm really confused about like my dates and stuff, which it has been playing on my mind. I know it doesn't matter because I've had my 12-week scan. I just don't understand it, and I wanted to sit down and speak to the midwife and just get them to break it down for me. And I was like, can you break it down? Like, I really don't get it. She was like, no, not really. I was like, okay, cool, like thanks for your medical help. So that is what it is. I just obviously had a bee in my bonnet about that. And then she basically wrapped everything up. It was very quick. She asked, I had to mention that I'm starting to feel flutters, because I am. That's one thing that I needed to document, actually. I've started feeling flutters. I felt it last week, so quite early actually. I was lying in bed and I thought, I don't know if I've just got like a tummy ache or whatever, but it was definite flutters because I felt it since then. It was always when I'm lying on my left hand side in bed. It's the only time I can feel it. If I lie on my back or on my right, can't feel it. It's always on my left. So I've started feeling flutters, and I had to obviously prompt that and say like, oh, I'm feeling this or blah blah blah. And then she sort of like started wrapping up the appointment, and I said to her, are you not doing the Doppler today? And if you don't know, if you haven't had a baby before, basically what used to happen, or what does still happen at certain practices, is they have the handheld Doppler, so you can listen to your baby's heartbeat for the first time. In my NHS, they don't allow you to listen to it at your scan with a sonographer, so at 12 and 20 they don't allow that. It's always done within a midwife appointment at your GP practice. And she was like, no, we don't do it from 16 weeks anymore, and you're 15 plus 6 anyway, 1 day out. I was like, right, okay. I was like, why don't you do it at 16 weeks? And she was like, apparently they've stopped doing it at 16 because of like abnormalities, or the midwives not being able to find the heartbeat with the machines, and that obviously causing anxiety and stress for the parents. And I was like, right, okay, that makes sense, I can understand that, but that was never told or like spoken to me about. Like, I didn't realise that was the thing. I was like, when am I next able to like hear the heartbeat then? And she was like, 28 weeks. I'm 16. That's 12 weeks from now. That is like the 18th of December when I would first hear the baby's heartbeat. And I was really thrown by that, that's a really long time. You're almost 30 weeks. You're only like, that's just crazy. And I was like, right, okay. I was like, so there's no chance of listening to it sooner then? And then she was like, well, we could potentially book you in for the 25 weeks. But that's mainly for first time pregnant like ladies. And I was like, right, okay, so I've got to wait 12 weeks to listen to my baby's heartbeat. Like, that's really weird. And so I sort of took it for what it was. She couldn't book me any appointments anyway, because obviously they're so far in advance, so I have to call up in a couple of weeks. And I was just really thrown. Obviously you go in expecting one thing. I'd really hyped it up for P to listen to her baby brother or sister's heartbeat. It was the first time she'd come to a midwife with me. And I came out feeling really disappointed. I could have cried when she said that she wasn't going to listen to the heartbeat, because obviously it's reassurance for a mum. And I feel like it should be discretion down to the parent, whether, like, they should say, we can offer this, but just to let you know, we do sometimes struggle, so just letting you know, like, if we don't find the heartbeat, don't be too alarmed, like, I'm sure it's fine, just giving you the heads up sort of thing. I didn't get any of that. I got completely shut down, which was really horrible actually. The midwife wasn't horrible at all, because obviously it's routine for them, it's done it like every day, but she was basically saying that the national like health like guideline has changed, and it changed a couple of years ago, because obviously I had P, it would be like almost 4 years ago now, so it changed, and I was like, right, okay, things change, that is what it is. So it was left at sort of like, either book it at 25, 28, blah blah. So I left and I called Neil. Neil was going to book time off work so he could come to the scan, so I'm really glad that we didn't. And then I called Ellie when I got home, and I was like, did you, bear in mind Ellie is under the same umbrella as me, she's part of like a certain midwifery team in Norwich. She lives like just down the road from me. And I was like, did you have the Doppler at 16 weeks? She was like, yes. So then that instantly got my back up, and I was like, that's not right. Like, I want to listen to my baby's heartbeat. That's not an unreasonable thing. So I called, there's a number, I think it's called like Medicom. I don't know if that's like national. Is it Medicom? Yeah. I don't know if it's national or whatever, but you basically, I spoke to them and she said, look, I've got a bit of a query, wondering if I can go to any practice within Norwich. I don't care where I go, I don't care when like it is, I just like it done before my 20-week scan. I'll go to a drop-in clinic, like I'll go wherever I can. I just want to listen to my baby's heartbeat. And he sort of put me forward for the on-call midwife, like within my area, and I would receive a call back. Fine. Received a call back, very awkward. It was the lady that I saw today at my GP practice. She was like, I just advised what we said in your appointment, and I just said, I'm really sorry, but I want to listen to my baby's heartbeat before 20 weeks. And she kept contradicting herself, which is why I got so frustrated. So when I was at the midwife, she told me that if I was 16 weeks, so tomorrow, I could have listened to the baby's heartbeat. But then she was telling me that they don't do it until 25 weeks. So she was telling me two completely different things. And I was like, oh my God, I just want to listen to my baby's heartbeat. I'm not asking you for like world peace. It's just like a 3-minute thing that sets my mind at ease. Like, you're only pregnant for such a short amount of time. And then she was like, yeah, okay, that's fine. She was like, we don't normally do this. And I felt like saying, what do you do? Like, I'm here for my midwife care and I'm not really getting it. And I just felt really disappointed. And I felt like I was being really overreactive when I don't feel like I should feel like that, if that makes sense. So I had to sort of fight for it, and she was like, well, we don't normally offer like midwife appointments at however many weeks you'll be. So you'll have to explain it to the midwife when you see them. Like I'm causing a massive issue. Like, I'd get it if Ellie and my other friends that have had babies recently in my area didn't have it, then I wouldn't kick up a fuss. But because my friends have, like, why shouldn't I be entitled to that? For some reason my camera just switched off. So it basically ended where I'd have to reiterate to the midwife when I go at 18 weeks, which is unheard of. Whoa, what's happened there? That I was there for like a Doppler reading. And like I said, she said, we don't normally do this, blah, 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 because obviously you're not really entitled to another appointment. And I was like, well, you've told me I can come in at 25 weeks, and that's for a first time pregnant person anyway. So I'd rather come in earlier and have one at 18 weeks, which is what I'm now having, as opposed to one at 25. If she just did the Doppler this morning, then I wouldn't be wasting the NHS's time and having another appointment, if that makes sense. So, I've got an appointment for the 12th, no, I've got an appointment for the 9th of October, so I'll be 17 plus 6. Is what it is. It's frustrating. It's not really how I imagined today would go. I took her onto Instagram just to see, and it's very mixed, so you'll have to leave me a comment below and let me know, because other pregnant people, they don't know what to expect. So it's been very mixed from my side. A lot of people have said, yes, like, that's ridiculous, you need to get a second opinion, like 16 weeks you should have a Doppler. I have never been refused, like I got refused one, should never be refused one. And then the flip side is that I've had mums reach out to me that said, actually no, I had to wait until 25 or 28 weeks, which I think is crazy, I really do. So that's where we're at. I think it's a very mixed bag. It's obviously not national guidelines at the moment, because if it were, all GP practices and midwifery teams would be rolling it out. So I don't know why my midwife said that for the past couple of years that they're doing it, because that's not right, because, do you get what I mean? I'm really glad that my pregnancy videos are going down really well. It's crazy. It just makes me so happy how well they're going down. And you all really like how open and honest I am, which is a big sigh of relief. Does that make sense? Because I do get really worried about just bearing it all online, but it's gone down really well, so I'm really happy about that. I'm gonna go and strip off, get into my comfies and chill out. And so I'm back with my update regarding the Doppler listening in of the baby's heartbeat. So I had my appointment that you would have just seen and me had my rant about. I had that last week and I wasn't scheduled to go back in until the following week, which was the 9th of October. I'm a bit bright. I had a phone call yesterday from the midwife basically saying if I could cancel the 9th appointment and come in today because they were really busy on the 9th. I was like, yeah, that's fine, I'll fit whenever works for you. Like, I never said that it had to be this date, blah blah. I just obviously wanted to hear the heartbeat before my 20-week appointment. And so it got moved from the 9th to today, and today is the 2nd, so I am 16 plus 6. And the lady that I saw today was the lady that booked me in, so I'm not too sure as to why I had someone different last time. I didn't ask. And yeah, she was really nice. So I was really worried that she was going to be quite, I don't know, from the conversation I had on the phone when obviously it all happened and I spoke to the midwife that I'd seen previously, I just had that feeling that it was going to be like, you're having an additional appointment, shouldn't really be having it, sort of thing. That's just the vibe that I got, that I was being inconvenient. But actually when I went in today, the lady was lovely. And she was like, you're here for a listening today, and I was like, yeah. And then I explained the situation. She was like, if I'm being completely honest, like, there are guidelines that say 16 weeks is too young, but we just do it anyway. And I just thought, why could the lady not have just done that and saved the midwife's time and all of, like, it was frustrating, but it is what it is. So we went in today, and I took my notes. She wrote in here, I don't even know what she wrote, but I know she wrote something. Hang on. Appointment for consultation for reassurance, which I definitely needed. Since the previous one, I felt really anxious actually, knowing that I didn't hear the heartbeat. I really didn't like it, because it was what I expected. So I went in today. She was lovely, really nice, did the heart rate and that was all fine. And that was 146/80, which she said was perfect. She said, they don't do that. That's one thing as well that I will mention. The carbon monoxide thing, the little test tubey thing. Literally, they've never done that apart from my booking, which is weird. Yes, everything was absolutely fine. I got a recording of it as well for P to look back on, because she was there with me. In the video, P has no emotion in her face. She's the type of child that will just stare off into space and not blink for like 5 minutes. So this is the video. She kept asking if I was okay. She kept like rubbing my leg, being like, are you okay, mummy? I was like, yeah, I'm fine, it doesn't hurt. So yeah, I'm really happy that I heard the heartbeat. It's just a massive reassurance when you hear it. And I'm glad that I fought my case. I couldn't imagine like waiting 12 weeks. And I feel like you are entitled to listen to it if you want to. Yeah, so I'm really happy, I'm really content. I'm getting a bump now, like, that I can properly show. It's really hard to show a bump with big boobs because my boobs are massive, and then you've got a bump that I have to like tuck underneath so you can actually see the bump. And then yeah, so if I pull this up, I'm not actually going to get my stomach out. I don't like looking at people's stomachs. It makes me feel quite uncomfortable, but you can see like that's where my tummy button is. And then that's all mum tum podge, and then this is actual baby. So yeah, that is me at pretty much 17 weeks, which is crazy. I can't believe that we're like halfway through. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna sort lunch out for myself and for P, and we're gonna watch 101 Dalmatians. I really hope you have been enjoying these updates, and I will see you. I don't know when. I don't know how many clips I've filmed. This might be the end of this video, and I might do a gender scan announcement and then a separate. You might see me after the gender scan in this video. I don't know. But either way I'm going to go because P's getting aggy with the cat and I don't want to fight. So I'll see you when I see you.